Hari Om, good morning. Today is a great day being the World Environment Day, the day for protection of the environment. Now let us see what is the definition of environment as given in the Environment Protection Act of 1986. It was in 1986 that this enactment was made. In the same year, there was another great enactment which was made, which is called the Consumer Protection Act 1986. At that time, Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India, I remember. So, environment includes water, that is definition. In the definition part, that is section 2A, environment includes water, air and land, and the interrelationship which exists among and between water, air and land and human beings, other living creatures, plants, microorganism and property. So the environment includes an inclusive definition which says that it includes water, air and land and the interrelationship which exists among and between water, air and land and human beings, other living creatures, plants, microorganism and property. That is section 2A. Then 2B says environmental pollutant means any solid, liquid or gaseous substance present in such concentration as may be or tend to be injurious on environment. Then section 2C defines environmental pollution, and it says that environmental pollution means the presence in the environment of any environmental pollutant. So you find that environment includes water, air and interrelationship between land and water, air and land. This is the definition given by the Environmental Protection Act. So the clean water, the clean air, these are the basic requirements for the existence of all living creatures in this world. Unfortunately, on account of the pollution, we are not in a position to get clean air and clean water in this world. In fact, the percentage of clean water availability in the world is very less. So is the air. Air is also becoming pollutant every day by day. The environment is changing. The climate is changing. And there is clear evidence of climate change There is clear evidence of climate change and there is one more thing which is very evident these days. Climate change is very evident these days. And global warming. The globe is becoming warmer and warmer day by day. The climate is changing. Today is 5th of June. On this day, there used to be, last year, I replanted the paddy on this very day. I remember, on this very day, I replanted the paddy. Because by this time, the paddy for replantation used to grow 1 or 1.5 months old. Used to be 1 month or 1.5 months. It has to be 1 month, more than 1 month for replantation. But unfortunately, this year in Kerala, there was no interim rain, as a result of which the seed could not be sown, and naturally the replantation cannot take place. How the agriculture will sustain under the circumstances? So there is a clear evidence of climate change, all because of our own action, destruction of trees, destruction of plants, destruction of everything, and the throwing away of plastic waste, and it is becoming more and more in the days to come. As far as the first definition, part of environment means water. Water means the water is embedded in the wetlands. Therefore, the protection of wetlands is sine qua non, or is a basic necessity for protection of water. Only when there is protection of wetlands, there can be drinking water, there can be water for agriculture, there can be water for the growth of paddy, there can be water for the fish wealth. So for everything, for all these things, protection of wetlands is very much necessary. And air, of course, air is the basic thing. When the air goes off the body becomes dead body. So air is also very, very, very important. So air and water are the basic foods, I would say. They are the basic foods. Other foods are not very important. But the clean air and clean water will be available only when we protect our environment. And one has to go to the nature, and one has to produce the farming, the products, whatever is required. One has to be self-sufficient. Don't depend on another state who would send you rice and vegetables. You should not depend. You should not depend on anybody else, and you should be self-sufficient. So basically we have to protect our environment, and it is hoped that we will do that, and that is why we are celebrating this day as the World Environment Day. Thank you for listening.